Hi everyone, it's Editor Child with Books of Child and we're reading The 100 Simple Secrets of Successful People by David Niven Ph.D. We're reading chapter 45, Listening is More Than Not Talking. Now this little chapter goes about the concept of active listening. Now if you have read Stephen Covey's, I believe it's the 7 Habits of Highly Successful People, this does come in, if I recall correctly, at a later chapter. This comes in quite heavily about the ability to listen and empathize and relate to people. And I remember it was extremely difficult. I didn't succeed at it. I still have to go through that again because he really put it out there. It was a pretty solid and difficult learning curve to get to a point where you can genuinely empathize, listen, relate, and properly address whatever somebody's telling you about. And the example in this book goes about a man who's been married for 47 years and apparently he had some difficulties about it, and he realized listening is a skill, and the main contention he was having in his marriage was because nobody was listening. They were just arguing about people, but nobody was paying enough attention to what was actually being said. The case study by Pauk in 1997 says that good talkers tend not to be good listeners, and indeed people who think of themselves as good talkers tend to rate themselves as extroverted, while good listeners rate themselves as introverted. Good listeners are 60% more likely to put themselves in the other person's place, trying to see things through their perspective. Now that's empathy. I myself try to talk as little as possible, simply for the purpose of, number one, giving my words more value. If you speak less words, you'll give each word more value, and it commands people to actually take your words seriously, just because so few of them are being spoken. At least that's my personal opinion about it. And number two, I don't want to strain people who are listening to me by bombarding them with excessive useless words when I can actually communicate quite quickly. So yeah, that's just my perspective on it. Listening is good, but I'd say on the opposite side of the coin, don't ramble. Don't force somebody's attention to have to stay up for too long. Get your point across, get it done. But yeah, this is important. I do know I will be handling Stephen Covey's book, although it will be much slower because it's a much more challenging and difficult book to get a grasp of. I'm not saying it's difficult to read or something, it's just the concepts then are, you gotta get into the meat of it, and it's real tough, but this is a part of it. This is a part of success, is dealing with individuals in an organizational setting. You have to be able to relay and work through with everybody and empathize and understand people. Real difficult. Listen to understand, not to reply. I've heard that phrase come up. It's quite a good one, but it is very important, because there's no point in conversation if you're not actually listening. If you're not in any way trying to address what somebody's saying to you and you're only listening, waiting for silence so that you can give your point across. And it's not an easy one. It takes active attention. One trick that they said was always to listen to what somebody was saying and to actually repeat the key parts back. Somebody said, "I'm sad." "Ah, I hear you're sad." Just as an example, if I recall correctly, that was one of the first parts, the most basic part. But there's a lot to it. I'd say it makes for probably the best managerial qualities, the ability to listen to employees in this way, actively, and actually address their concerns, or create collaboration. Definitely a very good skill. But as I said, also it comes down to word economy. You gotta get your point across. So if you expect to be actively listened to, don't strain your listener. Don't go rambling. Get your point across. It's very important. The human attention span can only stretch so far. So if you ramble and you abuse somebody else's attention, you're not going to get them to listen to you. Simple as that. You have to be concise and get your point across. Very important. But yeah, this has been the 100 Simple Secrets of Successful People by David Niven Ph.D. We just did chapter 45 of this wonderful little book. I hope you have a good day. I hope you have an even better day after hearing this. We'll be doing the next chapter in the next episode. So we'll keep on going. There's 100 of them, but we'll get to the end of it. You'll see. You'll all see. So thank you very much. This has been Age of Chide with Books of Chide, and I hope you have a fantastic day. So see you in the next episode. Thank you very much. Bye.